What's going on? So, you already know what I'm about to talk about from the title, but we got a $70 video game problem, all right? Now, I rat on $70 video games all the time because it's just stupid. Charging $70 for a video game is kind of too expensive, I'm not going to lie. And I get it. I even have a friend that says, well, it's only $10 extra until you buy multiple video games, and then it becomes 20, 30, 40, and then you add a battle pass on top of that like Call of Duty does. So instead of spending $60 for Call of Duty and then $10 to $20 on the battle pass, say it's $10. So if you're spending $60 on Call of Duty, minus tax, by the way, because it's taxed. So $60 on Call of Duty and then $10 on the battle pass, that puts you at 70. Well, guess what? Now the base game is 70 and then it's $10 for the battle pass. Now you're spending 80 compared to 70. It's still a $10 difference, but you get what I'm saying. And then it adds up over time. I don't really have a problem with $70 video games as is. I don't mind if you charge $70 for a game, especially if you get, if it's a bonus edition, because usually there's an in-between between a special edition and the normal edition. You'll have a $70 edition where for the 10 extra bucks you get a couple skins or a couple cosmetics and this and that. Makes it a bit more worth it. It's for somebody that, is a big fan of the series maybe and is like, oh, I'm willing to shell out the extra $10 if I can get a couple of cool skins and this and that in game and make my character a bit unique or whatever. The other problem with $70 video games is that they all fucking suck ass. Please give me an example for if you have paid $70 for a video game or a AAA title, because it's only AAA titles charging 70. And I'm not talking it's a special edition that got a bunch of crazy stuff with it. I'm talking it's just the standard edition that they're charging $70 for, kind of like Modern Warfare 2 or like Madden 24 here. And tell me, was it a good game? As far as I know, not a single $70 game that has dropped has been good. Unless Baldur's Gate is $70, and I'm completely wrong because I thought it was 60. I don't know how to spell Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3 is $60. So let's go, before we go to Baldur's Gate, let's go back to Madden here. So we have Madden 24, and this is what sparked me to make this video, because I had made a video in the past, and it was a really long-winded video. I think it's private now, because it was a really long-winded video of me explaining $70 games and why I hate it as a whole. And I basically go into detail of my main response to $70 games is that the company in that original video is that the companies making them are multi-million-dollar companies, hundreds of millions of dollars. The companies charging $70 for their game are multi-million-dollar companies that do not need to charge extra money to pay their employees in air quotations, because you know that who's getting that actual money. Like I've said in that other video, it's not the fucking devs. It's the people at the top. It's the suits. It's the marketing team. It's whoever the fuck is at the top. The devs aren't getting more. And if they are, good. I'm so happy for them. But they shouldn't be getting more because they're not putting out the fucking content worth getting paid more. And obviously you can't really blame the devs for that because, again, it's usually the people that are the leads of the teams and the CEOs of the companies and the people higher up that determine how well the game can be made. Even if the dev team has an idea in mind and they want to make an amazing game and they have all these ideas, well, guess what? The CEO or whoever's at the top could be like, guess what? Your budget for the game is 50% of what it used to be or 80% of what it used to be because we're trying to maximize profits.
That they had dramatically slashed the budget for Warcraft 3 Reforged to almost nothing. And now that that's all public information, thanks to Jason Schreier's reporting, I feel much more comfortable being open and honest about just how much they screwed Warcraft 3 Reforged. And it's pretty clear to me that it came from the top, maybe even Kotick directly. I'm not 100% sure. But it was a monetary thing. They screwed the game that we all wanted to see for money because they thought there was no money in this. And they proved themselves right because they effed the product and now no one wants it.
And now you have an unfinished game. Similar to kind of Cyberpunk, where Cyberpunk was unfinished when it released, mostly because they just had to push it out. I don't even think it was necessarily money restraints. It was more like, we've pushed this game back twice already. We have to release it. And that's kind of where we're at. So why did I pick Madden 24? Why am I sitting here staring at Madden 24? That is because I saw this and it enraged me. The fact that it's $70 is stupid. Why? Because I've only ever seen that Madden has gotten worse over the years. It has gotten progressively worse to the point where they're literally taking modes out of the game that used to be in the game.
Nearly every other major sports video game out today also outclasses Madden in nearly every category. Let's start with all the features that were once in Madden games and are now completely missing. Create a team, where you can create a team with any logo, color, or uniform template you want. Instead, Madden has relocation teams, which are presets you cannot edit and have not changed since Madden 25. And dynamic attendance, where fans would leave during blowouts. These last 4 features were removed due to the NFL's request, however, but they are still worth pointing out. Everything else on this list was removed because EA is dumb and because EA is lazy. Yes, all 89 of those features were in previous Madden games and then removed.
So I'm not a huge fan of Madden. I don't play a lot of Madden. I think I have Madden 22. That's the newest release that I have. I think I have that on somewhere. I got it for free through Twitch or something because I didn't pay for it. And I think I have Madden 21 on Steam. I might have got it for free, or I might have paid like $10 for it. It was on sale or something. I don't know. So I have them, but I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of people talking about Madden. And all I've seen is that it's just gotten shittier over time. I mean, even if we look up Madden right now, if we go to Madden 23, the reviews for the game are pretty mixed right now. There's literally no other NFL game. You have no choice. This is a great review because it's exactly the same for every other sports game on the market. This is why NHL doesn't come to PC. This doesn't really have anything to do with the video too much, but I'm a huge fan of hockey. Or I don't want to say huge fan. It's my favorite sport. It's the one that I would enjoy playing the most. I just really like it and whatnot. NHL hasn't been on PC since NHL 2009. And would you believe me that I literally can't get NHL 2009 because it was only released on disc or some shit. So you can't buy it digitally. So even if I wanted to play NHL, I couldn't buy it digitally. I had to buy an Xbox One years and years ago just to play NHL. I had to spend $150 on a new console just to play NHL. That's another thing that I hate with sports games is that it's basically just one company makes it and they can choose to not release it on any console. MLB was exclusively on fucking PlayStation a couple years at one point. I think now the newest MLB is on Xbox, but before that, MLB was on PlayStation exclusively. How the fuck do you let that happen? As a sports organization, I'm going to call out these sports organizations too, because for these, the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, the NHL, these are all, big orgs. Wouldn't it make more sense for them to want as many people as possible to be involved in that sport and to be able to experience it no matter what limitations? If I'm in a wheelchair and I show up to an NHL game, they're not going to look at me and be like, well, guess what? You can't ice skate. Your legs don't fucking work. And they're going to kick me out. That doesn't make any sense. Right? So just because I'm on a PC or an Xbox, I shouldn't be able to play that specific game. Writing in the contract saying that it has to be released for all consoles to an extent. Obviously, I get it, Nintendo and whatnot, it would be hard, but like it really should have to be released for all consoles, especially if it's going to be an exclusive contract. Like I've talked about this before in previous videos, I think, but that's a problem. I guess that's another problem that I'm going to talk about in this video too while I'm getting around to it is sports games, if you're going to have it so only one company can develop that game, there should be a clause in the contract that forces them to have to put it on all consoles. So anybody, no matter what they're playing it on, can experience. And obviously, it gets to an extent where it's like, okay, well, like you don't want to put it on DS, but it should be for each platform. You should have one on PC, one on Xbox, one on PlayStation, and one on Nintendo, right? Those are the 4 main console, 3 main consoles and then PC. It should be on there, right? Or at least PC, Xbox, PlayStation. Honestly, if you're going to do all consoles, yeah, throw Nintendo in there. I don't care if the port is shitty. I don't care if it's a shitty port. I've talked about this a million times. If they were to release NHL, last year's NHL, if they were to release NHL 22 on PC and the base game was $100, I would probably pay for it. Why? Because I can't buy an NHL game to begin with. I can't even buy MLB. If I want to play MLB, guess what? I have to buy an indie game that was made, and it's just not the same because it's not the licensed characters, it's not a realistic sim and all that. You just can't. And Madden wasn't on PC until only the last couple years now, so it's just ridiculous to me. And then you also have the problem of the companies don't have to make their game any better. That's why you see games like Madden and specifically NBA 2K being so the reviews are basically horribly negative. NBA 2K on PC, for some reason, I have NBA 2K23 in my Steam library here. I have a few hundred hours on the game. This is the last gen version of the game. NBA 2K23 on PC is the PS4/Xbox One version. The PC version of the game got last gen's version. And guess what? For NBA 2K24 that's about to release, PC is also getting the last gen version. Now you might think, oh, well, that's not too bad, until you realize that the last gen version of NBA 2K23 is literally missing an entire fucking game mode called NBA Era. NBA Era is only on the next gen version of NBA 2K23. Why does PC get the last gen version of the game? NBA 2K24. Guess what? PC is also getting the last gen version of the game. Who is the retard making these decisions? It's just shitty all around. Sports games as a whole are shitty all around. And again, with NBA 2K in these games, because it's a signed contract and basically nobody else can make a Madden game, Madden themselves don't have to make the game any better because there was no competition. Another thing that I've talked about before, which I don't know if I put it in a video, I might have, it might be private, who knows, is that an organization like the NFL or like the NBA, genuinely, I think there should be a law that they cannot sign a contract with only one company, or they have to have, there has to be at least another company that is able to make a game. Now, I think 2K is making a Madden game, or not a Madden game. They're making an NFL game, which we'll get into because there's problems with it. Same thing with EA. EA has the NBA Live, which they can make it another NBA game. The problem is NBA Live has been dog shit for the last, like, however many years, and the last NBA Live that released was NBA Live 19 back in, like, 2018. And that didn't even come to Steam. I think it was only on console, and it was dog shit, apparently. So yeah. And then what's the problem with the NFL, which I'm going to get into $70 games, but this is building up to that, as you can tell by these companies being trashy and making trashy games. These are the same companies charging $70, by the way, for their games. These are the same companies charging 10 extra bucks. These are the same companies charging $70 for the last gen version of the game. I'm paying $70 for the last gen version. My 3080, my RTX 3080 has to play the NBA 2K24 PS4 version. My PC is better than a PS5. My PC is better than a Series X. Why do I have to play on the last gen version? Okay, 2K is able to make an NFL game. Here's the problem. It will not compete with Madden NFL. Why? Because Madden, or not Madden, but EA has specifically, from what I saw, from what I was reading a few weeks ago, has the rights to the simulation NFL. That's right. So 2K, their NFL game has to be more of a similar to NBA Playgrounds. If you don't know what NBA Playgrounds is, I'll show you it. NBA 2K Playgrounds actually have it. It's basically like NBA Jam, just remade for the modern era, and it's not too bad. It was pretty fun. I bought it and I played it. I got some time on it. The problem is that this is just NBA 2K making a, NBA Jam style Playgrounds game. The problem is that 2K has to basically make a Madden game that looks like this, or not Madden, NFL game, because EA has the rights to making a simulation version of the NFL. So 2K literally cannot make an NFL game that plays like an actual simulated football game. They literally can't, because EA has the rights to it. From what I saw, if I can look it up and find it on screen, I'll be on screen here. Beyond fucking stupid for so many reasons that I'm not going to go into because it should already be obvious. It just makes it so there's no competition, because if you want to play a more realistic version of Madden, or not Madden, I keep saying fucking Madden. If you want to play a more realistic version of NFL, of the NFL or football in general, you have to buy Madden from EA. Basically, no competition makes it so that you can just, and the best part about it is no competition makes it so that you can literally take game modes and things that were in your game and remove them in the newer copy. So like Madden, I think I've heard about this before. Somebody was talking about it in a YouTube video. Like Madden can release Madden 23 and have literally 3 game modes in it, and then release Madden 24 and add 4 game modes to it, or add 5 game modes to it. And then when Madden 25 comes out, they can remove one of those game modes. And then in Madden 26, they can market Madden 26 by saying they now have 5 game modes again. There's an extra game mode compared to last year, even though 2 years ago also had 5 game modes. It's just because they fucking removed one. And guess what? Nobody can do anything, and they never have to make their product any better. Their product can just constantly get shittier and shittier to the point where it's literally unplayable, and nobody can do anything about it because there is nobody to fight with them. If you want to play an NFL licensed game, you have to buy the EA Madden NFL game. There is no other way. If you want to play an NBA game, you have to buy NBA 2K. There's no other option. Yeah, there's NBA Live, but guess what? There hasn't been an NBA Live game since 2018, and guess what? It was dog shit. And guess what? It's not even on fucking PC, so you can't even get it on all the fucking consoles. Same goes for NHL, same goes for MLB. NHL literally just isn't on PC. And MLB also, you can't even get it on PC. Shitty companies make shitty games, and guess what? They charge $10 extra for their game. Now there's Madden NFL 23, but if we were to look at NFL 24, as you can see, $70. Okay, so the companies charging $10 extra for their game because the devs need the money are the same companies making shitty games. On top of that, every game they release becomes worse than the last because there was no competition for the games. So, and then on top of that, you have companies charging $70 for games that are just straight up don't work. So my thing with the $70 price hike isn't the fact that it's $10 extra, because I wouldn't mind spending $70 on a game if they were made well. The problem is they're made like shit. Look at Modern Warfare 2. You looking at it? Because I'm not. Because I don't want to look at it. I played it for about a month. And in that time, I played it for maybe 2 months. And then I stopped playing it. And I sat there and went, this game is a load of fucking horse shit. It was dog shit. And I think everybody else can agree that Modern Warfare 2 is dog shit. But they still charge $10 extra for it. And on top of charging $10 extra for the game, they made a record-setting $800 million in its first week of release. Guess what? They're never charging less than $70 for Call of Duty again. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, I just saw, apparently, all of the maps in Modern Warfare 3 are just going to be remastered, in air quotations, remastered maps from Modern Warfare 2. They're not even making new fucking maps for the game. They're literally just remastering the maps from Modern Warfare 2 and putting them in Modern Warfare 3. You know what they're doing? They're copy paste. Oh, let's add a couple things, make the lighting different. Here we go. Here you go. Modern Warfare 3. Remember when they said they weren't going to release another Call of Duty game for another year, so there was going to be a 2-year gap between Call of Duty games? Guess what? You fell for it, you fucking moron. You fucking fell for it. I remember a while ago when they announced that, when there was like rumors being had that they were going to release another Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, this upcoming year, and I saw a Reddit post or somewhere, somebody was like, so you're telling me that because the person was like, I bought the battle pass for this game and all this shit, and they're going to be releasing another Call of Duty within a year. What happened to the 2-year break? I spent $70 on this game and paid for the battle pass, and they lied to me. Brother, you're the moron for thinking they weren't going to release another Call of Duty game when they made $800 million for a copy and paste, half-ass, half-baked fucking game. If I was Activision, I would be pumping out Call of Duty every 6 fucking months. I would have pumped out Modern Warfare 2 6 months after it released and been like, don't worry guys, this one's better. All of the bugs and fixes you want, guess what? They're going to be fixed in this. I wouldn't even update the game. I would release Modern Warfare 2 and straight up not update it and just build up. I would get my dev team and I'd be like, okay, everybody fix all of the bugs in the game. All right. Guess what? We're going to re-release the game a second time, but this time all of the bugs you're having problems with, they're now fixed, and we're charging $70 for it again. And for those of you that paid for Modern Warfare 2, well, guess what? For Modern Warfare 2, you will save a total of plus $5. That's right. You're not even saving money. We're charging an extra $5 for everybody that previously had bought the game. Go fuck yourself. And guess what? They would probably make record-setting $800 million again, because everybody that buys Call of Duty is stupid enough to constantly rebuy the fucking game, like myself, because I'm a fucking moron. Oh, by the way, I didn't spend $70 on Modern Warfare 2. I'm going to put that out there. I am very much against the $70 price hike, and I stand by my beliefs for the most part. So I didn't actually spend $70 on the game. I waited till it went on sale a couple months later, and I think it was $58 at the time that I had bought it. Obviously, after tax comes out to 60 some, but yeah, I didn't pay the 70. I'm going to put that out there because I ain't one of you. Any of you did pay the 70. And don't get me wrong, if you enjoy the game and love playing it, that's fine. If you're getting enjoyment out of the game, that's great. I've talked about this before. If you enjoy the game and feel like it was worth the $70, that is good for you. I am glad that it's like that. But for a huge majority of us, we feel like we're getting fucked in the ass repeatedly, genuinely, constantly just railed in the ass, no chance of escape, no nothing. Fucking Requise got us by the fucking hands. There's nothing we can do, all right? Like I said, and then I think Baldur's Gate is a great example of the fact that you don't need to charge $70 to make a good game or to pay your dev team a good amount of money. As of right now, as you can see, the game is overwhelmingly positive. I've only seen rave reviews. Everybody is praising this game. As you can see, it's really well reviewed. A lot of people like the game. I've seen a lot of reviews for it. I've seen a lot of people praising the game, and yet it's $60. And then you have all the AAA companies saying, well, this is why we can't make a good game. I don't care about any of that. Here's an example of an amazing game, better than any game, any AAA game that is released, and it's $60. So how come they're charging $60 instead of $70? Don't they need the $10 extra to pay their dev team? Clearly not. It clearly doesn't matter. It's funny because every AAA game or close to AAA game that I've seen that has released for $60 has easily outperformed and been way more fun and enjoyable to play than any $70 game that I've seen. Again, like I said, it's all of the companies charging $70 for their games nowadays are these companies that are worth millions and millions of dollars and make millions and millions of dollars every year. All right. Call of Duty did not need to increase the price of their games by $10, considering that every game for the last 4 years has just been a copy and paste. I don't even know what else to say. It's just, well, on top of that, they pull in so much money. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 easily made $1 billion in sales, undoubtedly. I'm just guessing. I don't even know that for a fact, but I'm just going to guess, and I'm going to assume that it made at least $1 billion in sales. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 released and made $800 million in its first week. Did you really need to charge $10 extra if you were going to make hundreds of millions of dollars in your first week of release? Because let's be honest, how many people on the dev team are seeing that hundreds of millions of dollars? How many of them are actually getting paid above the standard pay grade? Or maybe they are getting a pay. I would hope to God, and I pray to God, the people on that dev team get paid more than the industry standard tenfold. I pray that anybody that works for Activision, specifically on Call of Duty, gets paid well above the industry standard for game dev pay. Well above. Because if your game is making $800 million in its first week, the price hike of $10 extra added to the game, so now you're charging $70, that entire dev team better be making the max amount of money possible. All right? Way more money. And you know what? I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know for a fact, but I'm just going to guess. I'm going to completely guess and say that I guarantee you they're probably not. Are they getting paid more than the industry standard? Probably. Are they getting paid a lot more? Probably not. Knowing Activision, knowing the way that company works, they're probably fucking not. Now, Activision Blizzard was acquired by Xbox, and I don't know how it's going to work out. A lot of people are saying that every company that Xbox acquires has pumped out a shitty game, which is kind of true for some of the companies. for some of the companies they bought. But I have high hopes for Activision Blizzard to come with Xbox, because I really feel like the head Phil Spencer and just Xbox as a whole has started to become more in tune with the gaming community and has started to realize we should actually put out decently well-made games instead of just trying to make money, which I say, and then you immediately think of Halo Infinite, and it's like, and then you think of Redfall, and it's like, and then you think of Deathloop, which Deathloop wasn't too bad, but apparently it was really buggy, but, you know, especially with Halo Infinite, like, I mean, Halo Infinite, they just released, I mean, it took them long enough. They released Forge finally, but yeah, Halo was, yeah, and especially with Redfall is just dog shit. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens. I mean, Overwatch 2 is on Steam as we talk, and it's looking something. Yeah, Overwatch 2, dude. Fuck. Overwatch 2 is what happens if they made 9/11 into a video game. All right. Okay. So we're done there. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, that's really just what I wanted to get across, because I do hate the $70 price hike. And again, it's not the fact that I hate that they're charging $10 more for games, which I do hate, especially now when we're kind of going into a recession and people are, you know, money is bad, at least in the United States. Money isn't where it should be for, at least I would say, middle class and lower class people. You know, money's tight right now and everything that's happening in the world. Charging $10 extra just was especially when they originally did it, was the kind of dumbest time to do it, because it was when I feel like people didn't have the money to spend on video games to begin with, and now they want to charge $10 extra. And I feel like that's why we're seeing all of these indie games and smaller games and other, you know, studios blossom, and we're seeing way more people play other games, you know, like Risk of Rain 2, like whatever, I don't know, Starfield's going to be $70. That's a Bethesda game. They're the same company that made Fallout, and Fallout's fun, and I guarantee you Starfield's going to be really fun. It's also going to be really buggy. I don't even need to play the game to know that shit's going to be buggy as a motherfucker, which is funny because I think Phil Spencer or Todd Howard, I think both of them or one of them was like, this is going to be the least buggiest game we've ever released. And I was just reading that and I was just flabbergasted. Genuinely, I was like, yeah, the least buggiest? Have you ever played any of your games? I mean, I'm not saying Starfield's going to be bad. I mean, Todd Howard knows how to make a good game and compelling story and stuff, but I don't know. Again, $70 games. Let me know in the comments, because I mean, there is not really a lot of games. I mean, I know that every AAA game that releases on PlayStation 5 is $70. I'm thinking more on the side of PC, so any game that is $70 across the board, not just on PS5 or Xbox, because I know at least on PlayStation, Baldur's Gate, you know, say that's on all consoles, even though it's may be $60 on PC and Xbox, it's $70 on PS5, because PlayStation is forcing all the AAA studios to charge $70, which if you bought a PlayStation, you probably deserve it for buying a PlayStation, to be honest. Nah, I'm just joking with you. I mean, it's you buy whatever you want, but like, it feels bad, dude. It genuinely feels bad. If you're a huge gamer, somebody that plays like a lot of games, and you bought a PlayStation, that's rough. That's rough. I would have sold that shit and probably bought an Xbox or just built a PC, honestly. Here we go. The first $70 game. Out of my most played games, this is the first $70 game. This is Modern Warfare 2 right here. And then right after that, we have No Man's Sky, which I paid like $20 for. Not even. City Skylines, Monster Hunter. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't think there has been a single $70 game that has released that has been good. And if you have a $70 game that you've played that is good, comment, because I don't know what it is.